felt that nasty feeling of feeling like someone's judging or criticizing you for the wrong reasons. I'm consistently asked in my seminars or in my events or, on Ask the Mojo Master or whatever it is about how to break through judgment and how to break through that fear of being judged. And the common patterns that I find is that normally those who judge others harshly judge themselves even more. And knowing that really made a lot of sense to me because it allowed me to understand the psychology of why someone would judge me when they don't know me, or why someone would judge me so harshly and criticize me. Because there's a difference between telling somebody that maybe they may not be doing something right, but encouraging them at the same time, compared to just trying to bring somebody down because you dislike them, or you dislike their attitude, or you just dislike their personality, or maybe you dislike that they're having some success and you're not. Who knows why we judge each other? I guess in some way, in some shape or form. We all do it in some way, but it's how do we break free from that really critical judgment that really hurts us, that the stuff that is really unfair. And it happens a lot these days with being interconnected on the World Wide Web, where people don't even know who we are. We may have friends from the other side of the world who we call friends, but they're not really friends, they've never met us. So we can be judged and criticized so harshly. But to break through that, my belief is that you must know yourself first. So in order to know yourself first, so that you can have a force field, this energy around you that blocks off all that crap that comes in from the outside world, the first thing that you must do is know yourself. Know who you are as a person. Know your talents, know your gifts, know why you're here. Really take some time to think about your life. I mean, we live in this hectic, busy world where everybody's busy. I even met a person one day who didn't even have a job, and he was telling me how busy he was. And I believe that we're all busy just because we're in this age where we can walk anywhere and we've got our phone where we can do work or scroll through it, or we're getting text message, we're getting phone calls, we're getting emails, we're getting all these pop-up messages from social media of people trying to start conversations with us. So we're in this busy world where everybody's trying to grab our attention. But unless you know yourself, you can get caught in that so quickly. But going back to the judgment and how to break through judgment, in order to know yourself, you need to have some time away from that. It's just some thinking time where you can take a step back and ask yourself the question, who am I? What am I really here for? What am I doing? What are my natural talents? What are my natural gifts? The things that come naturally to me that, I may have had to work to develop them, but I always had that talent. So for me, I remember one of the most powerful times was also one of the saddest, when my best friend's 3-year-old niece was killed in a car accident, and I watched this little coffin going into the ground. And I just asked myself the question, what's the purpose of life? Why am I here? Why do I exist? What are my natural talents and my traits? Because at school I was told I was going to get nowhere in life because I had learning difficulties and I really struggled in the standard schooling environment. And because of that, I honestly thought I was worthless. Yet that point in time made me really start to question what it was that I was trying to create in the world. And I knew that every one of us is special in some way, shape or form, but I didn't really know what my way was, like how I was going to implement and do the things that I needed to do in my life. And because of that, I went on this search for a couple of years where I kept asking that question over and over again. What's the purpose of life? Why am I here? Why do I exist? And what are my natural talents? And what I came up with was that I really enjoyed helping people. And so because of that, it made me ask the question, well, how do I do that? What are my natural talents and the natural gifts that I've always had? And I remember growing up as a child, and I used to get called Chattermouth because my mouth never stopped talking. And then I was given my report cards from my mum, and I looked through them, and every one of them from reception right through to I finished school said Michael talks too much. And I realised one of my natural talents was talking. Who would have thought? Who would have thought I could have made a career out of talking? And then after that, I realised my other one was connecting with people. I don't like other people feeling sad or feeling unhappy around me. And so because of that, that's led me to the career path that I'm in now. I get to talk and I get to connect with people, make them happy, inspire them, help them live a greater life, because nothing upsets me more than seeing other people upset or seeing other people stuck and not really moving in the direction that they want to go. So after I came up with that, there was a few more as well. But after I came up with my natural talents, it really put me on this focused guide. It sort of guided me in life to create what I'm doing now. And that's why I have the energy that I have. That's why I have the motivation that I have. That's why I have the goals that I have and the vision that I have. All of a sudden, everything started to align. It made so much sense to me. I knew who I was. I knew what I was here to do. And it was one of the most empowering times in my life, even though it was one of the most saddest. It started everything off. So take some time to think about who you are as a person. What are your natural talents? Not the things that you've had to really struggle and work hard for. I mean, for me, I've learned how to use computers and technology, but it's not something that I'm passionate about. I don't go to bed and think about technology. I go to bed and think about connecting with other people and talking and I mean, I don't know if anyone else does that as well. It might be a bit crazy, but that's the thing that inspires me to be better in myself and to keep growing and to keep learning and to keep adapting and developing. So take that time away from your normal environment, because once you find that, it'll ground you. You'll feel strong and certain about who you are and what you need to do in life. And because of that, when other people throw these harsh judgments at you, you know exactly who you are. You know exactly your intentions and where you're going in life. And they'll just bounce off of you and you'll feel really, really good about who you are, but you actually feel really bad about them for judging you and criticizing you. You actually feel compassionate about them. Because imagine this, imagine being that person who walks around every day criticizing and judging and trying to bring other people down. Are they really bringing in lots of great things into their lives? Or are they really upset and hurting and sad? You know, I think that anyone who walks around trying to bring down other people or who continually criticizes others is sad. They're living in a bad place and they really need to be inspired and to find out who they are as well. Because good people help to lift other good people up. Negative people just seem to bring everybody down around them, and eventually it's going to affect them in a negative way. So know yourself, take the time out, really find out who you are, because it will help you so much with people judging you, people criticizing you, because it's going to happen and it's going to keep happening. But once you know who you are, that'll just bounce off you and you'll feel great each and every day. The other thing is that once you know yourself, you need to love yourself, love who you are. Because once you find that love, now, for guys don't, well, I shouldn't say guys because that's a gross generalization, but a lot of blokes, I live in Australia, so there's this blokey bloke thing where we don't express this word called love, not too often anyway, but love really is the positive energy. I truly believe that there are two emotions, one of them's love and one of them's fear, and all other emotions are built on those emotions. So it could be happiness, it could be joy, but once you've got that inside of your body, that gratitude, that great feeling that you can just bring up at any point in time, because you can look around and even on a bad day you can look around and say, you know what, I'm so grateful to have these things in my life, and I'm so grateful and so happy to be where I am now, and I've overcome all these things in the past. So when you really find that love, that energy that you've got within you, it'll make you feel great, but also as well it'll project out onto other people. And you also start attracting other great people into your life as well. So it's so important to love yourself, love who you are, love your imperfections and your flaws, if you can call it that. I don't believe that anybody's, has these flaws or imperfections. We're all just a little bit different. So love yourself. And the final thing is, don't try to be everything to everybody. Because when you try to be everything to everybody else, and when you try to be something that you're not, then you'll lose yourself forever. I mean, in this day and age with this social connectivity, I just see that so many people are trying to fit in that they're becoming everything that they're not in order to feel like they're fitting in and to feel like they're connected. But the truth is they're losing the one thing that's important in their life, which is themselves. So it's time to really step up and stand up and find out who we are and what we're doing in life and really stand out. Leave behind all the past things that you were told that you should be, whether it was from your teachers, your parents, your mum, your dad, your sisters, your brother, your friends around you who have told you that you should be this or that you had to do this. Let go of all that stuff and find who you are as a person, because once you do that, you start living for you, you start loving you, and you start creating a great life. And once you do that as well, judgment has no place anymore.